Good afternoon. This is Sunshine Reports. My name is Timileyin Falade. The governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, has marked his 66th birthday with a special Holy Communion service at the Chapel of Epiphany at his country home in Owo. The service was attended by family members, friends, political associates, and security chiefs in the state. The Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, in the sermon titled Living a Purposeful Life, congratulated the governor and applauded him for redefining governance in the state. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankole reports that the celebrant was joined by his wife, Betty, who also celebrated her birthday 24 hours earlier.
As early as 7 o'clock in the morning, the country home of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu played host to people from all walks of life, including family members, political associates, friends, and well-wishers for his 66th birthday celebration. Thereafter, the celebrant, family members, and well-wishers came before God for the Holy Communion service at the Chapel of Epiphany. In his sermon titled Living a Purposeful Life, the Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, congratulated the governor on the occasion and applauded his strides towards making life better for residents of the state.
God has given you opportunities of governance. I remind you that even in the midst of the troubles of the time, the massacre that took place here in Owo, God gave you that strength, that courage to be able to lead his people through that type of challenge. And so many things that you begin to wonder, how do you do it? How do you manage? Day by day, it is God's special grace upon your life.
The celebrant, Governor Akeredolu, who is the Chancellor of the Owo Anglican Diocese, thanked God Almighty for the privilege to see another year of his life. The governor appreciated the congregation, family members, friends, political associates, and well-wishers for the show of love, noting that the grace of God has been sufficient for him in the journey of life.
I want to thank God for his grace.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank God for his mercy.
Thank you, Lord.
We cannot ask for better thing. God has been too good to us.
Thank you.
And God, in his own way of doing things, and I can say it without our asking, he decided to put the end of our affairs states in our hands.
Thank you, Lord.
So why won't we thank God? He saw so many people wanted to be at the end of affairs. But on his own, he chose us.
Thank you, Lord.
So we want to give thanks,
Hallelujah.
adoration, love, and honor to God Almighty.
Akeredolu restated his dedication to good governance in the state and promised to improve on mechanisms that will strengthen the security architecture of the state. The event was rounded off with a reception in honor of the celebrant. From Owo, Wahab Bankole.
The chairman of Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, says all is set to relocate Orange 94.5 FM to the headquarters of the media organization at Orita Obele in Akure. The chairman said the decision is to make the media group function optimally in the face of economic realities. Our reporter Joy Pius reports as presented from our studios.
The challenge confronting public and private organizations globally and particularly Nigeria, is the surging price of diesel. This has caused many businesses and organizations to fold up and many others to downsize. Ondo State Renovation Corporation is not spared by this global crisis as its operations have been affected in recent times. Rising to the challenge, the management of the State Media Group moved towards solving the issues to ensure quality and uninterrupted service is delivered to the people.
Roughly something going to about 40 million naira.
Staff of Osrc Media Group, which comprises of Orange 94.5 FM, Sunshine 96.5 FM, Alalaye, and Osrc Television, converged on the headquarters at Orita to exchange views with the top management on ways to enhance its service delivery in the face of the current economic meltdown in the country. Speaking on the urgency of the decision, Chairman of the Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, explained that the 3 stations would be housed at the Orita headquarters for more efficient operations at the respective channels. Mr. Adebayo said approval has been given for the harmonization of the 3 operational structures in place for greater benefit of the people of Ondo State.
What we are doing is not just about relocation of Orange FM. What we are also doing is about strengthening the capacity of Alalaye FM. Even though what government has approved for us is the relocation of Orange FM to this place. But what management has also done is to struggle and work hard within a very tight schedule to also strengthen the existing Alalaye FM. Therefore, as Orange FM would be coming here, Alalaye FM would also have the studio removed from where it is. Alalaye FM studio will now be in this complex.
The chairman therefore enjoined staff of the 3 arms to hone the argument for better understanding.
I urge you professionals who are here at the highest level and their subordinates to please understand what this government is trying to do. Understand what this management is trying to say.
The Director, Engineering Services Department, Osrc, Mr. Femi Ayekomilobon, who spoke on the advantages of bringing the stations together in terms of making content sharing an easy task, explained the new mechanisms to be deployed in the merger.
Having different stations in different locations is something that is quite expensive to manage these days, especially when you now place it vis-a-vis with the cost of power, which is already skyrocketing. We thought that the best thing that we can do now to reduce the running cost of this station is to co-locate them. When we co-locate, it reduces the cost of running power, generating power to run the station. It reduces the cost, even helps in the manpower welfare.
Staff present at the meeting commended the initiative with a belief that it will aid effective and efficient service delivery.
It's important that we cut costs so that we have more resources to actually do a lot of things. Secondly, it's also important that we make our operations seamless.
The issue of multitasking, it means that all our staff, both at the Orange, the Television and Alalaye, will be able to work hand in hand.
The Osrc Media Group has been undergoing a series of transformations since the inception of the current administration, and with the new development, the Media Group is poised to break new grounds.
Ondo State government says it is committed to an educated, healthy and productive population. Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa at the maiden edition of the State Human Capital Development Steering Committee meeting held at his office in Akure said the present administration is stepping up efforts to reduce poverty and achieve sustainable economic growth and development. The report. Consequent upon the inauguration of a Steering and Technical Committee of Human Capital Development Program by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, the committee held its maiden meeting to improve the indices and recommend policies and programs. The Human Capital Development Program focuses on 3 thematic areas, which are health, and nutrition, education and labor force participation. In his remark, the Deputy Governor, who is also the chairman of the steering committee, Lucky Ayedatiwa, thanked the technical committee for deliberating on strategies to quickly produce the state human capital development work plan.
Much has been done. I want to thank the technical committee for taking on so early to have put a lot of work, in place. Like he was telling us all that they have done and the next thing that needs to be done. Most of the work has been done. What we have to do here is to actually consider this work that has been done by the technical committee, consider them, make contribution if there is any.
Ayedatiwa said the administration of Governor Akeredolu is focused on improving the human capital development of its citizens for inclusive governance.
A lot of work is on our hand, but we have started well. The objective really is to have a healthy, educated and productive citizen. And we know that human development capital is critical to poverty alleviation and citizen participation and economic growth and development in any nation.
Speaking to journalists after the meeting, the Vice Chairman and Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Pastor Emmanuel Igbason, said the committee is mapping out strategies to address the three thematic areas of concentration. Pastor Igbason said the draft will be reviewed and a strategic paper produced to address poor indicators of human capital development.
We interrogated the paper and the overarching objective was that for us to have a well-educated, functional, productive, and progressive and prosperous citizens in Ondo State.
It is expected that the Human Capital Development Program will improve basic areas of human development, including the education and health sector. Governor Akeredolu has ordered the immediate dismissal of workers caught receiving double salaries from government payroll. Receiving the report on the verification, scrutinization and cleanup of the state payroll, salary and pension in Akure, the governor commended members of the committee for also recovering about 500 million naira. The governor directed that recruitment be suspended pending the conclusion of a cleanup exercise. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankoli has details.
Worried by the level of decadence in the state public service coupled with fraudulent payroll, salary and pension system, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu inaugurated a 7-member committee to continuously clean up infractions on the payroll. The committee, headed by a retired permanent secretary, Mr. Victor Olajorin, commenced the work in October 2021. After a series of engagements, it was time for the committee to present its report to Governor Akeredolu. The chairman, Mr. Olajorin, thanked the governor for the opportunity to serve while highlighting some of their findings. According to him, the committee beamed its searchlight on the Teaching Service Commission and the Hospital Management Board for the first part of the assignment.
For the Teaching Service Commission, we identified that some officers were not actually there. Some had retired, some were taking double salaries, some were taking pension, and also taking salary simultaneously. So we had an observed loss of about 304 million that we identified in that instance. We went to the hospital's management board. We also identified some infractions. We have a case of an officer who also did a bad day in 2010, 50 years, and as at now he still says he has about 3 more years. He produced a brochure for the bad day. So we have identified the officer and he's been asked to refund some amount of money that's overtaken for the period she was going to stay. And there are some officers that we cannot even trace. We have a sizable number of them, that we cannot trace. And so when we did that computation, we had 192 million involved in that instance.
He noted that some officers enjoyed some allowances not due to them, while others were fraudulently receiving money from government after disengaging from the state public service. Mr. Olajorin said the committee discovered that distribution of officers in the Hospital Management Board is lopsided. Responding to the discoveries, Governor Akeredolu appreciated members of the committee for their courage and transparency.
The money in figure is not enough yet. We have overbloated workforce, and undoubtedly I'm sure there are many ghost workers. So many. And when you say people are paying money back, I want to say this here now. In addition to recovering salaries from those who are taking double salary, head of service, get them interdicted and dismissed. Because there is no way you won't know you are taking double salary. It's the only way to pass the message down that what you are doing is wrong. It's not only just to recover the money and you still retain them in service. Recover the money and get them sacked.
He described as unfortunate the level of decadence in the public service, noting that all recruitments be stopped pending the conclusion of the verification exercise. He charged them not to succumb to undue influences from the public. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Ondo State House of Assembly says it will continue to enhance access to justice by providing alternative mechanisms to complement litigation in the resolution of disputes. At a public hearing held on a bill for a law to provide for the establishment of a state multi-door courthouse, the Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, Mr. Success Torukejio, opined that the bill will assist in the dispensation of justice in Ondo State. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi completes the story.
Door Courthouse provides citizens with easy access to justice, reduce delay in justice delivery, and provide links to related services, making more options available through which disputes can be resolved. And gathered here are members of the judiciary and relevant stakeholders to meet minds on the bill with a view to have robust outcome that will serve the interest of the citizens. Speaker of the House, Bamidele Oleyelogun, urged them to feel free to ventilate their options with a view to further strengthen the judicial system of the state. The Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, Mr. Success Torukejio, who said the bill, when passed into law, will fast-track dispensation of justice in the state, promised that the lawmakers will do justice to the bill for the betterment of the judiciary and the people of the state.
Sure that we're able to do justice to this law and this bill, and as soon as we go through this exercise to just go ahead to pass it into law, become a law of this state for the benefit of the people of Ondo State. We're going to do justice, and in a very short while we'll get through with it, and the cooperation of Mr. Speaker and other members of the House of Assembly become a living law in Ondo State.
Other stakeholders expressed belief that the bill will enhance easy access to justice by providing alternative mechanisms to supplement litigation in the resolution of disputes.
We look at the bill page by page and that clause after clause, so that we'll be able to find out any area we feel is at variance with the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. More so, if there's any innovation that can propel the dynamic of this law.
They observed that it will serve as the focal point for the promotion of the growth and effective function of judicial system through alternative dispute resolution methods. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, OSRC News.
Residents of Akure, Ondo State capital, have continued to appeal to governments to make thorough the clearing of bushy median in the state capital, as some areas still need attention. Joe Pius, who was in town to assess the situation, reports that residents in areas yet to be attended to are hopeful for a speedy intervention from relevant government agencies.
Following months of neglect of the bushy medians along major roads in Akure, Ondo State capital, residents expressed displeasure over the development, which they say is not palatable for the state capital. OSRC in its previous reports spotlighted the unkempt median, which spurred the Ministry of Environment, saddled with the responsibility to commence clearing of the affected areas. Some sections of the medians across the state capital, which were overgrown with weeds, posing threats to pedestrians, have been cleared. However, other areas are still left unattended to. From the cathedral axis down to Ondo Road, residents are hopeful of government attention.
Looking at the condition of Akure as a whole, especially this area, Ishikon areas, this place is not good enough. It's not looking attractive, and I see that some areas they have been cleared, like the bushes. We want to beg our governor to help us clear this area, most especially because if we want to cross the road now, we'll be scared.
That before all this, they used to plant a flower to decorate the street, not all these woods. So we appeal to the government, to say government to help us or the environmental to help us to clear the weeds, because it's very bad in the street. This is a state capital.
They neglected this place on court in the town, in the capital. It's very, very uncalled for. It's dirty, it's unkept. We are supposed to live in a clean environment, clean and healthy environment.
Igbó wọ̀nyí náà kọ́ bá wa ṣí ọ̀nà àtúbọ̀ máa dì wọ́n mú wọ́n bá ṣe gbẹ kó dúró dáadáa. Tá a bá fẹ́ cross bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn a máa ń bẹ̀rù ní pé ejò lè wà lábẹ́ grass yẹn kéèyàn má mọ̀.
The general expectation is for the grasses to be well maintained as part of efforts to beautify the landscape of a state capital, and if not wholly attended to, could rob the state of its urban renewal program. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
And now to sports. Ondo State Football Association, UTFA, has commended former Sunshine Stars coach Henry Abiodun for spreading the gospel of soccer coaching to Kano. Henry Abiodun, a licensed tutor, was the resource person of Kano State Sports Commission at a two-day workshop for soccer coaches in the state. OSRC chairman Dele Ajayi remarked that Mr. Abiodun is helping to deliver the modern-day objectives to football coaches across the country. Otumba Dele Ajayi said Mr. Abiodun, as an active tutor to Nigerian coaches, will be better for... Otumba Dele Ajayi said with Mr. Abiodun as an active tutor, Nigerian coaches will be better equipped for modern-day coaching. And that ends Sunshine Report this afternoon. Thank you for watching.